We were supposed to take a break before the last two panels, but the team decided to speed things up. And we've been given 20 minutes instead of the originally planned, 1 hour or 40 minutes? But we'll do our best. My name is Yewande Suleiman, and I'm just going to go ahead and introduce the panelists so that we can move as quickly as possible. So like he said, the topic is innovation, investment, and infrastructure for Africa's digital transformation. So first, Mr. Babagana Digima. I hope that I'm not murdering that name. He's currently head cybersecurity and internet governance at NCC. I will call Mr. Ikechukwu Ibiauchi from Cisco, Government Affairs Leader, Dr. Tayo Aduloju, and Mr. Chukwuka Amadife. Okay. iCentra, where are my panelists? Should we go ahead and start? Okay. Sorry, there's a national panelist. Alhaji Ahmed Tijani Abubakar. He's head business development at Glovi Salmon. My apologies. You're welcome, sir. So we've talked about a lot of things today, very key things. We've talked about sustainability, we talked about policy, green energy, and the future of work. And like the MC said, this is a very important panel. I know that we're tired, but I would really appreciate if everybody wakes up. We're about to talk about money. Very important. Adam and Jabu, so very, very important. Yes. All right. Good afternoon, sirs.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to start with Mr. Babagana. And so he pioneered the initiative that drove, Nigeria's production of, local production of SIM cards 100%. And I'm pretty sure that we're all familiar with the issue of production in Nigeria and quality. So I'd like us to start from there, because if we're talking about investment and bringing investment into Nigeria and Africa, it's very important that we're sending the right signals. So, Mr. Babagana, how were you able to navigate the issue of quality when it comes to local production?
Thank you very much, Yewande. Thank you for having me. As I've been introduced, my name is Engineer Babagana Digima. I've been with the Nigerian Communications Commission, and of course, the office she referred to was an SPV under the NCC. And I think to go to your question, the issue of quality is something that was the primary thing when we started, of course, about SIM cards. All the SIM cards produced in Nigeria produced in Nigeria and globally, of course, set to certain standards, which includes, of course, the ISO 7816, the IEC standards, GSMA standards for interoperability of SIMs, electric interfaces, and all those stuff. So all the SIMs that were produced here are also in conformance with those standards. That's number one, because if it's not, it will not even work. So that's number one. And then secondly, we made sure that the manufacturers or the people who make the SIMs, both here and of course their suppliers and people who they work and partner with, are also people who are certified to produce SIM cards, from the chips to the plastics to other parts of the SIM cards. and the production process itself is also subject to certifications. And then most of the, in fact, all of the manufacturers are also producing SIM cards and other smart cards for the banking industry and for other applications and so on. So it was easy in that aspect, but what we needed to do was the policy, of course, that will make our MNOs and other users of SIM cards to go to them, purchase those SIM cards, go into partnership with it. So that's where the magic happened, and it was.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. But so I'm glad you mentioned policy, because what it sounds like is that we're saying that we literally have to force the consumers to buy locally.
Well, if you look at it that way, but not force, but to encourage, because
so
that's what government does. That's why I always encourage, or I always put forward that we need to support people who are manufacturing or providing services or in whatever form in any industry across Nigeria. So if you support them, give them that policy support, then you're also enabling not only them as people who produce, but you're also helping the economy of Nigeria because you have people employed, you have people who now understand those technologies, and you now develop a whole lot of ecosystem. If you look at the SIM cards, for example, when we started, everything about the SIM card is being imported. But along the way, before you knew it, there are people who are doing the product packaging in Nigeria. There are people now who are also doing the design for the SIM cards and so on. So all those ones came after when the manufacturers now realize that, you know what, you can provide for this, and we can get the business from the MNOs. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
So that's very good. And with that, I would like to come to you, Ikechukwu. So we're basically talking about designing locally and producing locally for the global market, because like he said, if the SIM cards do not work internationally, then they're useless, right? So you, in multiple capacities, advise global tech companies, entering African markets.
Yes.
How have you been able to figure out how to design within the constraints that exist? So constraints of investment, constraints of infrastructure, without, just dropping a copy and paste model.
Okay, thank you very much. Just as a bit of an intro, I lead government affairs at Cisco. I look after Nigeria and the West African sub-region. One of the ways that we try as much as possible to ensure that the solutions that we deploy across the African markets are unique to those markets is by leveraging one of the vehicles that we have, which is the CDA, Country Digitization Acceleration. What the CDA does really is we approach governments in different markets, different regions, different countries, and we say, what are your priorities from a digitization perspective? Just giving you an example, we can approach, for example, let me say we approach the Nigerian government. One of the priority points was digital literacy.